I have had some requests regarding whether the price action techniques or the Wyckoff method will work in trading the stocks, or will it only work for trading the S&P 500 futures. So in this video, I'm going to take this opportunity to share with you the stock watch list for Malaysia, because you have been following me for some time. Then you might notice that I only send out this type of the stock watch list update in my weekly email. I never do any type of a video around it. So in this case, I would like to take this opportunity to just walk you through some of the Malaysia stocks that I'm trading or investing in the video using the Wyckoff technique or the price action techniques, if you like. So let me just get started here. You can see that usually that's the email format. Like I will be talking about the VS, JHM, FRONTKEN, Ming, PENTA, and also UWC. So if you have been trading Malaysia stocks, I think this will be very familiar name. They are pretty much all the tech stocks in Malaysia. So let me just get started with JHM. So you can see that JHM just broke out a few days ago, hit the all-time high level, break above $2. So pretty much there is definitely a Wyckoff structure around, and we see the strong accumulation and very good absorption on the way up, and eventually it just consolidated within this trading range alone. That's since about August of this year, and right after about 3 months consolidation from August to about November now, we finally see that there's a breakout happening, which I have been talking for probably a few weeks already. So you can see that. Let me zoom in a little bit here. One thing that actually stands out is definitely if we just talk about the volume alone, definitely quite a lot of the accumulation on the way up, and subsequently when there is a spike of this supply and there is a profit taking activity, and eventually it just formed this change of character, which actually defines the trading range. So that actually sets up the trading range between $2 to about $1.4, and subsequently the volume has been decreasing, and that actually suggests that supply has been decreasing. And you can also notice from the texture of the price movement as well. So that's definitely phase A. B, that's pretty much C, and definitely supply has been exhausted. So what we actually need is the quality demand in order to push the price up to break above the immediate resistance level. So you can see that because the supply is in strong hands, and therefore that it doesn't really require a lot of the effort to initiate this type of the breakout. So we have seen that overall supply has been decreasing throughout, so even there is a reaction, it's relatively mild and also forms a higher low throughout. So overall, I think JHM is in a very healthy price structure and volume formation, and as long as $2 can hold, there's definitely a high chance to trend higher. For the immediate support level will be somewhere around 1.9 to around $2. So that's the immediate support level. As long as it didn't really break this level, then there's a high chance that it can just reverse and keep trending higher. Alright, so that's JHM. Let me go to next stock, VS. So sorry, let me drag this out. Okay, so VS has been hitting all-time high level quite some time. Let me take a look here. So yeah, the previous all-time high was around 2.4, and subsequently if you have been in my email list, you probably noticed that yeah, I think I've been talking about this stocks, the VS, for quite few months already. But anyway, one thing that's catch my eyes is definitely the overall supply signature throughout. The volume has been very low right after this breakout session, so there is no selling behind all this reaction. And as long as we can see this kind of the quality rally or this type of quality rally, then I'm sure that VS can resume its uptrend and keep trending up higher. So far, it still stuck within the trading range between 2.25 to around 2.55. I guess that's the swing low and swing high that forming the trading range. And nothing threatening yet, is definitely in a strong uptrend. And next, let's go to take a look at FRONTKEN. So FRONTKEN is obviously within this trading range. So overall, we can see the COVID sell-off and with a great accumulation. So you can see the volume spike and eventually a lot of the good demand behind, and eventually just form this kind of the consolidation. And subsequently, you can see this run up and followed by a change of character, which sets up this trading range. So far the trading range is between 3.25 to about 3.75, and if that's phase A, that's testing B, and we definitely see lack of supply level, and there is a spike of the supply right there, and we see some rejection of the top, but there's no follow through to push the price down. In fact, it's just kind of forming a in the middle part of the trading range here. So if the middle part of the trading range can be sustained and hold somewhere around 350, I think there's a high chance for FRONTKEN to go up to test the swing high resistance at about 3.75. So far, the volume signature is very healthy, not much supply, but definitely we need to see some decent demand behind to push the price to initiate a breakout. Okay, so let me go over to Me Technology. Okay, so Me is very similar to FRONTKEN in terms of the price structure, but I think is somewhere stronger than the FRONTKEN. But in terms of the volume, let me talk about this COVID sell-off. I think it's very interesting. You can see that definitely we have a climatic run-up, and we see the spike of the volume, and after that we have another attempt to rally, and there's a lack of demand behind, and there comes this sell-off, and it's very intense. It just dropped from about 3 to about 150, dropped about 50%, and subsequently there is also accumulation on the way down, and eventually just a quick recovery forming by consolidation, and there is a demand behind. We can see that demand has been increasing, and that actually reflected in the price as well. And after all, we see this speculation run and eventually just form this consolidation. So there's a trading range. The resistance level is somewhere around 4.6, and the support is around 3.75. So far there is a definitely a Wyckoff structure here, and this movement or this leg down alone just mimic probably a phase C, second point of fear. But right now we see that the supply has been exhausted and volume is very low. There is lack of both supply and demand. So we see that the prices just keep floating and without a real commitment to the upside. So far, I think that it could probably just keep trending up higher and test the immediate resistance level at 4.6 and eventually likely to break out above the all-time high level. So that's my take on Me Technology. And let's go over to Penta. Okay, let's see Penta. So Penta is another amazing stocks. You can see that during this COVID sell-off, is right from about 375 all the way down to 150. So it's incredible during this sell-off, and subsequently the recovery is super quick as well. Let me just zoom in a bit, because I think this volume alone just spoil the whole volume signature here. So we can see that overall supply is still in strong hand. We see a lot of the accumulation on the way down and also on the way up as well, and subsequently we see some buying behind as shown up here, and eventually we have seen this change of character, so that actually sets up this trading range. And roughly about September, we see this second point of fear, probably mimic the phase C of the Wyckoff event and Wyckoff phases, and subsequently there is a breakout. So breakout happened right there. Some supply come in as shown in the rejection tail, but eventually there's no follow through, and I think $5 is a relatively good support level. And just last week alone, we definitely see increasing of the supply. You can see that there is a increasing of the supply level, but look at the results here. So we have, especially these two bars alone, there's the effort versus results, Wyckoff's law. And with the increasing of the effort behind to push the price down, what we have is limited downside and also a demand tail. So when we compare these two bars alone, we notice that there is a demand presence in this small spread bar, and that's happened right at this support level at about $5. So I think that's a bullish sign. We probably can see a reversal from here on to for Penta to test the all-time high level near 550. Okay, the last one will be UWC. So this is another stocks that's definitely outperformed the market a lot. You can see that during this COVID sell-off, a lot of the accumulation on the way down and on the way up here, and subsequently followed by some momentum behind, buying up, and eventually we see that supply has been decreasing. Both supply and demand has been decreasing, and eventually we have seen this kind of the structure with very low supply level, and eventually have the breakout. Some will probably just say this is a cup handle, and whichever way you recognize it, it's great structure. So we see there's a trading range form right after this change of character alone, and subsequently that actually defines the trading range, and eventually we see this localized spring. So that's the spring, false breakdown, and followed by a breakout. So that's a back test of this resistance turn support level at $7, 7 ringgit. Eventually have continuation to the upside, so they initiate another breakout right there. So overall it's very bullish, and because supply has been very low, and that's why we see a lot of the ease of movement to the upside without a lot of the real effort behind. Alright, so I guess that's the quick walkthrough for the Malaysia stock watch list. So if you have any kind of the stocks you would like me to take a look, feel free to comment it below. And also, because this is my first video about the stock watch list for Malaysia, feel free to just comment it whether you like it, hate it, or whether you just want to receive it in the email format. Just check out the link in the description below and click the link and join my email list for free. And yeah, just let me know if you like it. I will just do some more videos about the stocks, the Malaysia stocks. Thanks for watching. I will talk to you soon.